everybody. So today is arm and shoulder day, non-pressing delt movements, flies, machine reverse pec deck, etc. And so today's the last day of our weekly training cycle. We've gotten the heavy lifts behind us. We've done the squats, the rack pulls, the rows, the heavy bench presses. All of that stuff was done this week very diligently and almost to complete satisfaction. We had some PRs along the way, which is always inspiring. If you can get a PR every week, that is significant. So very happy with the results. In any case, today's the last training session of the week, and as such, I like to reserve it for the isolation movements of the arms and the calves, maybe some ab work. Although we did a lot of abs this week. We have been hitting the abs pretty damn hard with those hanging ab supersets with the machine crunches. Ouch. But anyway, so what I want to get into is the progressive overload training technique and the mindset. So we are trying to do progressive overload, yes. But when it comes to isolation movements, this becomes a little tricky because one thing is increasing your rack pull or your front squat or whatever it may be from 225 to 275 to 315 and beyond. I mean, what do you do with the dumbbell curl? You're gonna go up to hundreds and stuff. That's really not the way it's done. So how do you progressively overload isolation movements? While it is true that you should strive to occasionally lift as heavy as you can, do a max bicep curl and all of that needs to be in there. By and large, we throw intense volume and clustering to the isolation movement. So I want to get across the idea of clustering, which is doing a specific amount of work in a limited amount of time. So say that you train with 30-pound dumbbells, just for an example. You have two 30-pound dumbbells, and you do an extended set of 12 reps. I usually do them isolateral, like I'll do 12 here, 10, 10, 8, 8, 6, 6, 4, 4, 2, 2, 1, 1. So I think that totals 116 reps divided by 2, almost 60 reps per set. Say that totals out to 3,400 pounds. That's your set for that training session, 3,400 pounds. Well, that and a heavy set. So I usually start out with one straight set with my max dumbbell training weight, which at this point is 50 pounds. Yeah, I have done heavier, but this is my training weight at this moment when I can do repetitions with good form with 50 pounds dumbbells. I'll just do a straight set. So now I'm at 8 reps. I'll try to do 9 or 10 today, maybe, as many as I can. AMRAP with the 50 pounds. AMRAP with the 50 pounds. Rest for 3 to 4 minutes. Get my air in, get the muscle relaxed. You don't want to pump at that stage. And then we go in for our pump set, which is the extended set. And say you did that set in, usually takes like 5 minutes to do, 5 minutes to do that extended set. And so what are the ways to progressively overload this technique? I could do them faster, attack the weight with same weight, same 30 pound. You attack it with more gusto, You try to reduce from 5 minutes, 20 seconds to maybe 4 minutes and 45 seconds. That's athletic performance. Your arm is doing the same amount of work, but faster. The output has increased, and that's a way to progressively overload. Say you reach a plateau with that. I mean, you're not going to be like, you speed up at 4 times the speed. It gets kind of ridiculous. So you have to increase the weight. You have to increase the weight. At this point, to a moderate increase, go up to 33 pounds or 35 pounds, and so on. So that's one way to increase the progressive overload on these isolation movements. And I do the same with the rear delt flies, with the lying extended dumbbell triceps, where you're lying down and you're doing with the dumbbells. Those movements really lend themselves to these clustering extended set techniques. So that's our thought. The other thought today, before we go to the gym, is the mental preparation of what we want to do in the gym. For most of us, we just go to the gym. We do have an idea. We do have a training program. And we do try to run it through our heads before we get in. But above and beyond that, say like today, we'll focus on the dumbbell incline curl. And we really want to make this our best session ever, right? We don't have time to waste. Every time we go to the gym, we want to make it the most productive session as possible. It's only an hour and a half or 2 hours or 1 hour that you're there. You want to make that thing the absolute best. Sometimes I dream about it. What would be my perfect workout? And I see these videos of these champs doing their training. I said, man, if I could, do 4 sets at this level and this tempo, and man, and then I superset it with this and this, at the end of the session, I can, that is just an awesome kick-ass session. And it's mostly in the head. Do you really go to the gym and pull it off? Well, I try to, but of course, you never reach that type of perfection. But we do try. So today, the arm session is the most important session of my life up until now. I try to make believe that this is the case, and it usually turns out to be true. So, with the biceps today, what would be our dream session today? Within the parameters that we've established, which is 2 sets. 1 heavy straight set with our maximum working weight, trying to get an AMRAP, as many reps as possible. And our extended set for voluminizing and clustering the greatest amount of work volume in the shortest amount of time with proper technique. So this is the most important part of this clustering with the extended sets with the working weight, is the proper technique. So the biceps has 3 points of insertion: the top, the bottom, and the forearm. And this is the part that is completely ignored, in a conscious way by almost everybody. So this part of the bicep, of the insertion, can actually work the bicep without curling. See? You can flex the bicep with your forearm. And this is the supination at the end. So by getting a complete movement, by reclining the incline here and starting off in a hammer position, we come up and then we supinate and crunch, and then we go back down, making that mind-muscle connection with every single rep. In tennis, they teach you every single, hit. I forget what the name is. Every time you hit the ball, it has to be as hard and as precise as you can. If you hit the ball 1,000 times during a game, each and every hit has to be on point. This is what we try to do with every single rep. Every single rep, crunch, 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 and then work through that extended set and with the work volume, and the work will be done. So that's what I had to say about the mindset going into the training session, with a very specific goal in mind: not to get scattered at the gym, to not lose focus, and to finish strong. Because that's the other thing. You're halfway through your routine, you've gotten the heavy lifts behind you, all the hard work, and sometimes it's easy to get distracted or just, mellow out. I think about going to the gym when I'm not there, and sometimes when I'm at the gym and I haven't finished my session, sometimes my mind starts to wander. And I think this happens to many people. And so this is something to be worked on. Like, finish strong. Make your last 5, 6, 7 sets of the session the best. Don't make them, junk volume, or, give it less than you got. You have to finish strong. When you finish strong a session like that, you start strong, you get your good warm-up, you do your warm-up first, you get into your session doing everything just right, and you finish strong, you can, at the end, log it into the book and make a nice star there and say, man, today was the most important session up until now. Without that session, tomorrow would not happen the way it should happen. So that's my thoughts on that. I will continue with the training video and then some thoughts at the end. So to recap today's training session, it felt like a very productive session. I was 80% satisfied with it. My I was definitely limited by my right delt, which has a little bit of an impingement from the beginning of the week on an incline bench press. So I couldn't give it my all. I couldn't do any of the bar movements like the bar extension, the skull crusher, or anything like that would require me to heave the bar over the head. It was just too tender, so I just left it alone. Hopefully, I'll be able to bench press in the coming days. Like my training session would be Tuesday or Wednesday of this week. Hopefully, I'll be well. So, besides that, everything went pretty good. I didn't do the extended volume that I was thinking. I was thinking of doing, starting the sets at 20 and 15. Most of them I started at 12 or 15, so I reduced the reps a little bit. But it still felt good. Like, I worked it. I also got in a good session with the forearms. I hadn't done those in a long time. Um, I was a bit frustrated with the other lift because of the shoulder, so I decided to do some bar curls, some forearm curls. I hadn't done those like in a decade or something, and I know it shows. So I did those and managed to do a whole bunch of volume. I didn't record that particular one, but I started out with a big plate on each side, like 115 with the short bar, and did like 7 clusters of 6 reps. So I, squeeze the grip real tight, curl it up, reverse curl behind the back. 6 reps, wait for 10 seconds, like 10 breaths, like deep breaths. 6 more, 10 breaths, and repeat 6 or 7 times. Then I drop the weight down to 100 pounds and then down to 80 pounds and then repped out at 80. So I must have done like 30 small sets clustered together. So I'll probably be feeling it tomorrow. And then after that, we just did the normal routine of some pumps with the rope push downs, some biceps machine curls, the high curl, taking advantage of the gym that they have this equipment. So managed to get in a little bit more volume than I had expected at the end, and I did finish strong. And I finished with the side lateral machine. Again, rehabbing the shoulder, trying to get more mobility and functionality into it as the week progresses. Because I couldn't really move it. Like the day after, it was tweaked. I couldn't lift my arm. It was very painful. And as the week progressed, it gained more mobility and function. So I finished with that particular exercise, and I managed to do some reps, and it was okay. I was getting the meat of the muscle. I wasn't affecting the joint, the socket, or anything like that, as far as I could tell. At least it didn't hurt. And that was that. So that's a great recap of today's training session for this vlog. And God bless everybody until next time.